this was the worst day that I've had in a long time. Hey guys, welcome back to my channel. It's me, Aisha JaNay. As y'all can tell by the title, today I'm coming with a story time of what's been going on and why I've been MIA. Recent things that happened that was very traumatic for me. I would say my son too, but I don't know how he feels about it. He just knows the outcome and he understands what was going on at that moment. He don't fully understand, but you know, he's about to be 6, so he understands a little bit because I talk to him like he's a human being, so he gets it a little bit. I've been MIA, y'all, because I've been getting some things together. My new website launched on the 8th of this month, so prior to that, of course, I've been trying to get that together, and you know, finally we're here. I want y'all to check that out. Buy your girl some lashes. If you're a woman and you love lashes, go ahead and check the website out and purchase some lashes. Or I do have eyelash clean mousse, so you can purchase that too. If you're a man and you like lashes, hey. But I'm gonna leave the link below so y'all can check it out, and I'm also leave it in the description box as well. Y'all know that I have a regular 9-to-5, so I also been focused on that. I've been focusing on my son, trying to, you know, get our little situation together. Y'all know our birthday is coming up. Mine is the 24th, his is the 25th. So I've been trying to plan like little places that we can go, and I wanted to go out of state and take him to the beach again like I did last year. This past week or so, a lot of things that's like was very confusing to me on like, why did this happen? What's going on has happened. Y'all see the title. Me and my son was stuck on the interstate for 4.5 hours, and I'm gonna give y'all from the beginning to the end. We had to come back home early Friday morning, so I was like, okay, we are about to leave from here. We gonna leave at like 5:30, so we should get back to my house at like 6:40, 6:30ish or something like that, because the place we were at is like an hour and 15 minutes away. So I ended up leaving there. So we're driving on the interstate, and we're driving probably for like maybe 20 minutes. It's because I looked at my GPS and we had like 48 minutes left to get home, right? So I'm driving, bumping my little music because that's what keeps me going. And you know, I wasn't too tired to where I can drive, but I just wanted to make sure that, you know, I get us home safely. All of a sudden, you know how like odometer, it's the miles per hour, and then on the other side it's that little, I don't know, where it's the little speed where it goes from 0 to 8, I guess. I don't know what it's called, y'all. I don't know anything about cars. That had like went to 0 on the interstate, and my speed was going down too. So I've had 2 or 3 cars, so I know like when something is off. So I'm looking at that, and it just automatically in my head was like, pull over, get on the right side and pull the car over because something is going on. So I pull over. Mind you, my oil light had turned on, but it didn't stay on. It was to the point where I knew that I need to at least put, I guess what you call it, a quart of oil in there, but I would be good to make it home. So that turned on, but it turned right off. So I'm like, okay, let me pull over, let me put this oil in here because I already got something in my trunk. Let me go ahead and put this oil in here. And I had just said before I left the place that I was at that I need to go ahead and get an oil change, right? But I had like maybe 1,000 miles to go before I actually needed an oil change. It just needed some oil to be added into there because I'm always on the interstate. So I pull over, put the oil in there. The car was still on because my dad had told me, like, baby, you can't put oil in the car if it's not on. So the next time you try to put oil in the car, make sure it stays on. So I put that on or whatever, and I turned the car off because basically me being on the interstate and my car went to 0. I knew that I was gonna have to turn my car off in order to see if it would let me hit the gas and go. So I turned it off for a minute and I tried to turn it back on and it wouldn't turn on. It would turn over but it wouldn't crank up. So I'm like, oh my gosh, something is going on, something else. You see what I mean? Like something else is going on with this car. Before I moved, I tried to get a car back in my hometown. It didn't work out for me to get a car. So my dad was like, you know what, look, I know that you can get a better car where you going. Just wait a while. You know, by that time you wait a little bit, you will have more money to actually put down on a car and you're gonna go from there. I'm like, okay, cool. You know, you talking rational, so I think that makes sense. So we're gonna roll with that. We're gonna ride this car that I'm in until the wheels fall off. It's a 2006 Malibu LT Max, which, y'all, I knew this car was gonna give out on me. It was just a matter of when it was gonna break down on me. The car already had over 200 something miles on it before I left, and when I stopped it was at 267,000 and something. Try to crank it up, it won't crank up. I'm like, oh my goodness, I'm stuck on the interstate. And then I try to crank it up again and I'm like, nope, let me go ahead and call my insurance and, you know, see what options that I have. So I called my insurance. First person, I can't remember exactly what happened with the first person, but I ended up having to hang up to call again. And I'm not gonna blast the insurance company or whatever, but the second person or whatever, you know, I'm frustrated. For one, it's almost 6 o'clock. I'm on the interstate with a 5-year-old. They need to hurry up and get somebody out there to tow this car or whatever options that they tell me that they have. The first person was just telling me that I have options for my car to be towed, or I have option for them to send somebody out there to try to jump start it. So somehow I ended up off the phone with them and I had to call in again with this second person. This second person was rude as I'm like, look, get somebody out here to try to jump start my car, and if it can't be jump started, y'all just need to send somebody out here to tow it. And the woman was telling me that, you know, they can send a lift after. The woman gets smart or whatever and she ended up hanging up. So I'm like, oh my gosh, okay, well let me call again so I can get another rip. So I ended up calling again. So, you know, they're like, okay, we finna send somebody out there. So they ended up sending me the ETA and, you know, the status. It was basically on the same little link or whatever. So I'm watching it or whatever, and it was saying that it was 45 minutes before this man can get there or whatever to jump start my car. And luckily my car or whatever, if it turns off, it still will charge your phone, which that's what I love about the car. Like with newer cars, it don't do that, but with my 2006 Malibu, it actually did that. And I'm like, okay, clutch or whatever. But anyways, I was charging my phone, talking to my parents and stuff, and you know, that was like, well, you should have just told them to come out there and tow it or whatever, because more than likely it's more to that car than you just needing a jump start. Y'all, I'm 26. I didn't know that. I don't know about cars or whatever. I don't know. I'm just doing what I feel like. I'm just trying to get home. It's all I'm trying to do or whatever. So I'm gonna do anything possible or whatever to A, get us home, and B, get my car home too, because you can't have your car sitting on the side of the interstate. The dude finally came or whatever, and he tried to jump start it, one jump start, and he was like, it's not your oil. He was like, it got oil in it. It's something worse or whatever than that. He was like, it might be the starter or whatever. And he was like, good luck or whatever. So I was like, okay, let me call them back. When I say this was the downfall of it all, so they send somebody out there or whatever and send me the link or whatever for the ETA, and the status basically saying that they're arriving and that, you know, they towing whatever. The first person dispatcher that they sent took, it said on the ETA that was gonna take 90 minutes. I'm like, oh my goodness, y'all. I'm watching the ETA or whatever, or the link, and it said canceled. Canceled. So I called them again. I was like, okay, I'm looking at the ETA. Your dispatcher had canceled. So I was like, okay, I don't know what's going on. We're gonna have to send somebody else. So they sent another person. This one said like 55-60 minutes. So I'm like, oh my goodness. So I'm on the phone with the woman or whatever, and I was telling her, can you go ahead and send the lift out here or whatever, because I can't have my baby sitting in this car. By this time, y'all, it was about 9:30. Yeah, it was about 9:15, 9:30. So I was like, can you please send somebody? And you know, when it's 9:15, 9:30, it's finna start getting hot. It's summertime too. So I was like, can you send a lift out here? I'm not gonna have my 5-year-old sitting in a hot car, because at first, the first 2 hours we were sitting, y'all, it would, like I said, it would turn over, but it wouldn't start. But luckily, when it turned over, it was to where I could run the AC. But me trying to turn it over too many times, it made the battery go dead. So the other 2.5 hours, we were sitting in the car with no AC. So that means, we're sweating, and I'm in the car with a 5-year-old with heat. People go to jail for leaving their kids in a car with no air. I'm not one of them parents. Please send a lift out here to come and get us immediately, please. So she was like, okay, I'm finna schedule you a lift, and they will be there before the towing man or the dispatcher be there. I was like, okay, that's fine. I said I would just leave my keys in here, and I said, of course, you know, he'll have to contact me to let me know that he's at my car, and we'll just go from there. The towing man finally, after 2 or 3 of them, I believe it was 3, it was 2 that had canceled and 1 finally was on their way. But anyways, finally they were really on their way. It was the lift. So they was like, well, do you have the app? I was like, I can download it. It is directly sent to your phone to where you watching them be on their way. So I was like, okay, like, that's cool. Y'all, I'm looking at the map. The man was, because it was a man or whatever, and he was like, I'm on my way to you, whatever, and he was just asking me, what side of the interstate are you on? I'm looking, and he doing all this turning around, and I'm like, he was like, I don't see you or whatever. So he canceled. Y'all, I was like, okay, I'm gonna be patient. I was like, maybe he didn't know what side I was on, whatever. So they ended up giving me another driver. Y'all, this person couldn't even speak English. Every time I would message him or I would call him, it was like, he don't speak English. And then he was like, I'm here. And I'm like, no, you're not. Where are you at? He called, he was like, I'm in front of the house or whatever. And I'm like, no, you're not. I'm not at a house. I'm on the interstate. So he hung up, and I kept on calling, trying to call, and he was just sitting there. You know, on the lift, if you don't if you basically don't come out from where you are to get in the lift, it's counting down, you know, on the map, and it automatically cancel if you don't hurry up and get in the lift. So he ended up canceling, y'all. I am frustrated. I am livid by this time. I'm pissed the fuck off. Excuse my language. I'm pissed. So I called the insurance company again. I was like, look, this is the second person that has canceled on me. Send me somebody out here immediately. I had explained to them again that I had my son in the car, that I don't want him to be out here. We need to get home. It's too hot for this. Just going off. I was whatever, but I was like, get somebody out here, please. So finally, y'all, the third lift, he came talking to me. He was like, you know, I used to, you know, do towing and stuff. He was like, it's not what it seems. With the towing people, they can send the customer a dispatcher or whatever, and on the ETA it can say less time than what it really is. It can be way more time. It calmed me down a little bit, because he was basically just giving me understanding of how it worked. Because I don't know, I never worked for a towing company, nor have I worked for an insurance company. We get home, and as soon as I get home, the dispatcher or whatever had called and was like, hey, I'm about to be at your car or whatever, and I'm gonna pick up your car and take it to your, oh yeah, I'm forgetting, they had tried to quote me because with my insurance I only had liability or whatever, so I had to pay, one, pay for the towing, and two, they wanted me to pay like $336 or something like that for it to be towed to my house. And I'm like, no, I'm not paying that much. And the woman was like, well, you can get it, you know, towed to the nearest repair facility. I'm like, okay, that's cool or whatever, because I know this car is done for. I don't want the car no more. If I could trade it in, I could trade it in. But when I get back, I'm finna get me another car. He was like, I'm about to be at your car and I'm finna take it to the destination or whatever. Just call and let you know. If I need to call for something else, I call. So by this time, I done called for Lincoln, where I am, to try to go look for a car, because I can't be where I'm at without a car. I can't. I'm in a way bigger city than my hometown. My hometown is very small. It doesn't have any interstates or nothing like that. It's just a small town. I'm not even looking at my phone anymore. I'm just, the man had picked me up, and I'm like, I'm done with my phone for right now. I don't need my phone. So I had ended up letting my son get it. They didn't have nothing that I want. I was like, you know, take me home. I'm just gonna try another day. I've been on this interstate for 4.5 hours, and it's what, 3 o'clock now. I'm just ready to go home, get some rest. So I called my brother, let him know what's going on. He was like, you know, you need to go to Nissan. And Ford basically is not for women, it's for men. Really, women don't get Ford cars. It's the next day, it's Saturday, and I had did my little application online at Nissan. You know, by the time I get off work, they have everything together, and when the guy picked me up, sign the paperwork, whatever, and you know, he can get all my information as far as my check stuff. Okay, I'm skipping the part. I had called my daddy. I was like, just telling him about it. He was like, have you thought about, did you tell the man about your car? Was you gonna trade in your car or whatever? And I was like, I thought that when your car broke down and it can't turn on, then you can't trade in your car. He was like, it's always good to ask. And he said, so a guy had contacted me. He was like, what you think about trading in your car? I was like, cool, we on the same path. I was just thinking about that. I just told my daddy when you called me back or whatever, I was gonna ask you. I was like, if I can do that, then yeah. He was like, I need the VIN number and I need to know the mileage on the car. I already knew the mileages off the top of my head, but I don't know the VIN number on that car. So I was like, well, let me contact the people that my car is at, because my job told y'all it was being towed to the nearest facility, which was like 48 minutes from where I stayed, but it was like probably maybe 10 minutes from where I was at on the interstate. I called this place. I was like, I'm just calling to let you know this is me. I had got my car towed to you guys and I just need the VIN number. The woman was like, ma'am, your car's not here. We're a repair place, but we're not an automotive repair place. Say what? She was like, yeah, we don't fix cars. So I'm like, hold on, wait a minute now. I looked at my phone and I went through my call log, because y'all remember I had told y'all the guy had called me to let me know that he was on the way to my car. So I had remembered his number was in my call log. So I looked, he had tried to call me 3 times. So I had called him and I was like, sir, you supposed to took my car to the nearest facility, and I just called these people to see if my car is there, and they said my car is not there. He was like, ma'am, yeah, When I got there, your car was gone. My car is gone. What you mean my car is gone? He was like, you need to call THP, which is the Tennessee Highway Patrol, to see where your car is, because when I got there it was not there. So I ended up calling THP, and the woman was like, ma'am, we haven't picked up a car in like a few days. We didn't pick up your car, but hold that thought. Let me look in the system to see if I see your car. She was like, ma'am, we just tagged your car this morning. Your car is still there. You got 48 hours to go get your car before it's towed, and you're fine. After I had paid $100 and something for it to get towed to the nearest facility, and $70 some for a lift to come get me, so that was what, $200 some in a day. She said call the people back and ask them what's going on and why they didn't pick up your car, because that's not out of our hands. I called these people back, y'all know I'm mad. I'm over here. I called them back. I said, look, man, you didn't go pick up my car. These people said my car's still out there. You need to go get my car, because I already paid for my car to get towed. Not doing what y'all supposed to do. The insurance company and the towing company. It was like, ma'am, you got to call the towing company back, because it's nothing I can do, which is nothing he could. He was just a person that was sent out there. You see what I mean? So I was like, okay, well, let me call the towing company. Called her, and then she was like, you got to call your insurance and tell them to send another dispatcher out, because if we send somebody out there, you're gonna have to pay again. I don't know, I'm not. No, I'm not. I ended up calling the insurance back, and I was like, look, like, I told them everything that was going on, let them know that this is unacceptable. This is poor customer service. I got to do something. We're going to send another dispatcher out, and, you know, woo, woo, woo. So they ended up sending another dispatcher out. He called me to let me know that he got my car or whatever, and he told me that he was going to call me as soon as he gets to the place. He gets to the place, he called me. He was like, ma'am, he was like, this is a home. He said, this is not a automotive repair place. And he had the woman on the phone, and she was like, yeah, Aisha called us this morning, and, you know, yeah, we don't work on cars. They might work on toilets or houses or something like that, but they don't work on cars. So he was like, you need to call the insurance back. Y'all know I'm mad, right? Because first of all, I'm mad with the insurance because y'all the one that connected me to this nearest repair place, not me. Where I was at, I didn't know nothing about that place. So y'all said that y'all can find the nearest facility or repair facility, and y'all will go from there, right? Get somebody here to fix this. They were like, well, we have to connect you with a supervisor, because now we got to figure out, you know, where we can take your car. It needs to be approved, blah blah blah. I was like, look, get my car to my house. I said, and I'm not paying the extra $200 something for it to get to my house, because y'all have cost me an inconvenience, and this is unacceptable. So the supervisor ended up calling me, and she was like, she was going over everything, the calls and stuff, to see what happened or whatever. She said, because from her understanding, none of this should have happened. She was like, from me and my son being on the interstate for 4.5 hours, to the towing people calling me and the way they called me, to my car being stuck on the side of the road even after I had paid for the towing. She said just a lot of things were supposed to be escalated before other things were supposed to happen. So she was like, I'm going to talk to the towing people. She said, then we're going to get your car to your home for free. She was like, even though that, you know, it is 48 minutes away, she said, we got to make this right. She said, because I know that this have caused you a lot of inconvenience. And she said, you know, I apologize. And, you know, she just gave me her compassion and her understanding and her empathy, right? So she had talked to the towing people, and she would call me back, and she was like, I'm just letting you know that, you know, don't worry about anything, that it's going to get to your house. And I was like, you know, just call me when it's on its way to my house. I said, because I'm about to leave and I'm about to go get another car. And I was like, you know what, I said, and I will say this, I said, the way that I was treated yesterday, which was on a Friday, and today was horrible. And the fact that I pay my insurance on time, I said, you guys have likely lost a loyal customer. And she was like, we don't want you to go. She was like, but I do understand, you know, because I'm in a similar situation like this. She said, so if you do decide to go, she said, we truly understand. She said, but we don't want you to go. You know, I didn't end up dropping them, y'all, because I knew that Nissan, you know, with them, you had to have insurance when you leave, full coverage insurance. I knew right then I couldn't drop them because of that. This thing on my license, I'm just gonna go say it, SR22. I'm just gonna be honest, because I had a wreck and I was driving without insurance, so of course I had to send that to the DMV, right, if I had changed my insurance, and I couldn't do that at the time. So she ended up calling me while I was in Nissan. It was like, you know, they're on their way, and she was like, the man, of course, he gonna contact you or text you and let you know that he's on his way or whatever. So he ended up contacting me. He was like, we're on our way, we're almost to your house or whatever. And I told him, just take a picture, leave my keys in the glove department and take a picture of my car once he get there. And then he did. He ended up doing it or whatever. So y'all, it's been crazy. I ended up getting a new car. It's a big upgrade from what I had. My other car is still here too. I know I'm probably not gonna get it fixed, so I might either take it to the salvage or I might see what I can get for it. I don't know. Even if it's like $500, then that's $500 in my pocket. They can go towards my car payment because I have a car payment now. See, that's the big difference too. That situation was a lesson learned, and it just gave me an understanding of, which I know how God works. I been in church mostly all of my life, but of course, you know, he'll test your faith and stuff, and that day he just let me know that, you know, everything was gonna be okay, that things happen for a reason. You know, I'm taking you through something to get you to something else, to get you to something better. And y'all, yeah, I just had to I don't want to get on here and cry, but I just had to praise him at the end, because for one, if it was the old me, I probably wouldn't even, of course I wouldn't have been prepared for this, because I wouldn't have had the right mindset to save the money. And lately that's what I've been doing. I also did, I'm gonna drop another video too on the 10K challenge that I've been doing. So I've been doing that also too, on top of saving my money as far as, when, you know, my working and my business and stuff like that. So, you know, he's financially blessing me to where, you know, if things happen in my life that where it costs money, I can replace it. That was just, it was life-changing. It was traumatizing. It was a good and bad experience, because I can honestly say I turned the negative into a positive. And, you know, I had to apologize to the lady, because I was like, you know, I'm bent or whatever, because I didn't cry that day because of my car, because like I said, I knew the car was gonna break down eventually, y'all. I cried because I'm like, why is me and my son on the side of the road? Why do I have a 5-year-old with me in the heat on the side of the interstate? Why? And that was my biggest cry, because I'm like, I felt helpless, because I was doing the right steps to get us out of this situation. Things were out of my control, and it was nothing that I could do about it besides just pray and try to have faith that God was gonna get me out of this situation, and he did. And I was just praising him once I had got my car, and I was like, you know, I know that you are always with me, but I know that I do need to start acknowledging you more, because you here right now that I'm making this video. He's giving me these words to say to y'all. I gave y'all this story also to let y'all know that, because there's somebody out there that need this. Just keep the faith. Know that he's with you. Know that whatever you want in life, you can have it. It's yours. You already got it. And the situation that you're in now, it's for a better situation. It's to make you into a better person, to get the things that you want and you need in life. Whether my camera died on me, but I'm on my phone now, but I'm just gonna end this video out. And I just want, like I was saying or whatever before, the situation you in is to get you to another situation that's gonna better your life. We're gonna always go through ups and downs in life, and just keep pushing, just keep the faith. I always pray, I always believe and know that God is with you no matter what. I enjoy telling this story, even though the beginning was very negative. I hope somebody learned something out of my video. I hope somebody can take something out of my video positive. If you're going through it right now, you won't be later. I appreciate y'all. I'm telling y'all, I'm coming for everything that belongs to me. What's for me is for me. I keep on looking to the side. What's for me is for me, and it can't be taken away. It won't be lost. It won't be tarnished. It won't be destroyed. It's mine, period. And that's the same with you. Like, comment, and subscribe, and let me know how y'all like this video. Let me know what y'all want to see next. I'm willing and I'm open to bring y'all anything that y'all want to see. And I'm out. See y'all next time.